The crisp autumn air couldn't mask the tremor in Amara's voice. "Mom, are you serious?" she asked, disbelief coloring her tone. "You're canceling my engagement party?" On the other end of the line, her mother's voice was surprisingly calm. "Serena just got promoted, and we're celebrating. On the same day. Just reschedule yours, Amara." Amara felt a wave of nausea. "Mom, come on. I've been planning this for months. I'm not canceling it just because Serena got a promotion at work." "Don't be selfish, Amara," her mother snapped. "This is a big deal for your sister. The same guests are invited. It's just a different party. Just reschedule yours." Anger surged through Amara. "No way, Mom! This is my engagement party. I'm not canceling it, and that's final!" Her mother's voice escalated into a shrill, angry tirade, but Amara had tuned her out. The phone slipped from her numb fingers, clattering onto the wooden floor. Memories of a lifetime of subtle yet insidious favoritism towards her younger sister Serena flooded back. Amara remembered her 20th birthday. A forgotten afterthought, a hastily thrown-together celebration with a store-bought cake and a generic gift card. A stark contrast to the extravagant 5-day extravaganza they'd thrown for Serena's 17th birthday just months prior. Callum, her fiancé, watched her with concern. "Amara, what's going on?" he asked, his voice gentle. Tears welled up in Amara's eyes. "My mom, she wants me to cancel my engagement party because Serena got promoted." Callum's expression hardened. "That's ridiculous. We're not canceling anything." "I know," Amara sniffled, "but why can't they ever put me first, just once?" "Because they're clueless," Callum replied firmly. "But I put you first, always." Amara looked at him, a small smile gracing her lips. "I know. That's why I'm marrying you." The rest of the evening was a whirlwind of frantic phone calls and emails trying to salvage the situation. Amara discovered that her mother, in a fit of misguided loyalty to Serena, had been calling every guest on the list, spreading lies about a disastrous fight between Amara and Callum, and urging them to attend Serena's celebration instead. Determined to set the record straight, Amara visited her Aunt Talia, her father's sister, hoping to clear up the confusion. However, she overheard a conversation that shattered her trust. "I can't believe Amara would do such a thing," Aunt Talia was saying. "Canceling her own engagement party just to spite her sister. So childish." Amara stepped into the room, her voice trembling. "Is that really what you think of me?" The ensuing confrontation with Aunt Talia and her cousin Lyra was a painful unraveling of her mother's twisted narrative. Amara, the villain, had supposedly thrown a tantrum, demanding Serena reschedule her celebration. When Serena refused, Amara had canceled her own engagement party out of spite. "None of that is true!" Amara cried, her voice rising. "My mom called me and demanded that I cancel my party so they could celebrate Serena's promotion. When I refused, she went behind my back and told everyone the engagement was off." Aunt Talia and Lyra exchanged guilty looks. "We should have come to you directly," Aunt Talia apologized. Leaving the house, Amara felt a mixture of relief and exhaustion. The lies, the betrayal, it was all too much. Later that evening, Amara received a call from her mother. "Amara, I just heard about the party," her mother began, her tone a mix of guilt and irritation. "I can't believe you went through with it after everything. You could have at least compromised with your family." "Mom," Amara said firmly, "this was my engagement party. Callum and I spent months planning it. It's not fair to expect me to cancel just because Serena got a promotion." "She thought you'd support her big day," her mother said, her voice laced with disappointment. "Mom," Amara said, her voice steady, "this was my engagement party, a once-in-a-lifetime event for me. I'm happy for Serena, but you can't expect me to give up everything just to make her happy. I need to focus on my own happiness now," Amara declared, ending the call. It was a difficult conversation, but Amara felt a surge of unexpected empowerment. For the first time, she had stood up to her mother without apology or compromise. The engagement party, despite the initial chaos, was a resounding success. The room was filled with laughter, love, and genuine joy. Amara felt a profound sense of belonging, surrounded by friends and family who truly cared. As she and Callum shared their first dance, Amara realized that this was more than just a celebration of their upcoming marriage. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a life where she was no longer an outsider. She was building a life filled with love, respect, and happiness, surrounded by people who truly valued her. In the weeks that followed, Amara focused on building a life with Callum, surrounding herself with people who genuinely supported her. She began to let go of the need for approval from her parents and Serena, recognizing that their love was conditional and ultimately unfulfilling. One evening, while scrolling through her messages, Amara received a text from her grandma. "Amara, I just want you to know that no matter what happens, I'm always here for you. Family should support one another, and you have my full love and backing. Callum is your family now, and I'm proud of you for choosing happiness." Reading her grandma's words, Amara felt a wave of relief. She didn't need her parents' approval or Serena's acceptance to feel whole. She had people in her life who valued, respected, and loved her just as she was. The wedding day arrived, a perfect blend of joy and serenity. As Amara walked down the aisle, she saw the faces of those who truly mattered: Callum's parents, her grandma, and her closest friends, the ones who had stood by her through the turmoil. These were her people, her true family, built not on blood but on love, respect, and unwavering support. Sharing her first dance with Callum, Amara felt a profound sense of peace. The journey had been challenging, but it had brought her to this place of strength, wisdom, and genuine joy. This was her fresh start, her chance to build a life of love and happiness, and she was ready to embrace it with open arms. Married life with Callum was a whirlwind of joy and discovery. They settled into a cozy apartment, their laughter echoing through the rooms. Callum, ever supportive, encouraged Amara to pursue her passions, to rediscover the artist within her. He helped her set up a small studio in their apartment, where she began to paint again, the vibrant colors a stark contrast to the muted palette of her past. Amara, in turn, nurtured Callum's love for cooking, their kitchen becoming a haven of culinary experiments and shared laughter. They explored their city, discovering hidden gems, enjoying picnics in the park, and attending live music performances. Life wasn't without its challenges. Work pressures, financial anxieties, and the occasional disagreement tested their relationship. But through it all, their love remained steadfast, a beacon in the storm. They learned to communicate openly and honestly, to respect each other's boundaries, and to find joy in the everyday moments. Despite their happiness, the shadow of her family continued to linger. Occasional phone calls from her mother, filled with thinly veiled criticisms and veiled comparisons to Serena, chipped away at Amara's peace. Serena, fueled by a mixture of jealousy and resentment, continued to attempt to sabotage Amara's happiness, spreading rumors and engaging in petty acts of sabotage. One evening, while attending a social gathering, Amara overheard a conversation between two acquaintances. "Did you hear about Serena? She's been demoted at work." The news was unexpected, even bittersweet. It seemed that Serena's relentless pursuit of undermining Amara had finally backfired. Her obsession with tearing Amara down had consumed her, affecting her work performance and ultimately her career. Amara felt a strange mix of emotions: relief, satisfaction, but mostly sadness. Serena's obsession with tearing her down had ultimately hurt her own happiness. In the following months, Amara focused on healing and letting go of the past. She began therapy, a safe space to explore the emotional wounds inflicted by her family's dysfunction. She learned to recognize therapy provided Amara with a safe space to unpack years of repressed emotions. She learned to identify the patterns of her family's dysfunction, recognizing how her mother's favoritism had subtly yet profoundly impacted her self-esteem. She began to understand that her mother's constant comparisons and criticisms were not a reflection of her own worth, but rather a manifestation of her mother's own insecurities and anxieties. With the help of her therapist, Amara began to cultivate self-compassion. She learned to acknowledge her own strengths and achievements, to celebrate her individuality, and to prioritize her own needs and desires. She rediscovered her passions, rekindling her love for painting and exploring new creative outlets. Callum, ever supportive, encouraged her every step of the way. He celebrated her triumphs, offered a shoulder to lean on during moments of doubt, and never ceased to remind her of her worth. He created a safe haven for her, a place where she could be herself, without the weight of her family's expectations. As Amara blossomed, so did her relationship with Callum. They embarked on exciting new adventures, traveling to far-off lands, exploring new cultures, and expanding their horizons. They nurtured their shared passions, attending art exhibitions, live music performances, and cooking classes together. They built a home that reflected their personalities, a vibrant space filled with art, music, and the warmth of their shared love. They cultivated a circle of friends who cherished their individuality and supported their dreams. These friends, a diverse group of artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs, became their chosen family, a source of unwavering love and support. While Amara and Callum thrived, their relationship with Amara's family remained strained. Occasional attempts at reconciliation by her father and even Serena were met with cautious skepticism by Amara. She learned to set firm boundaries, prioritizing her own emotional well-being over the need to please her family. One evening, while attending a family gathering for Callum's grandparents' anniversary, Amara found herself unexpectedly drawn into a conversation with her cousin, Ethan, Serena's son. Ethan, a thoughtful and introspective young man, confessed that he had always admired Amara's strength and independence. He admitted that he had witnessed firsthand the unfair treatment she had endured from his mother and grandparents. This unexpected connection with Ethan opened a new avenue for understanding and healing. They began to meet for coffee, sharing stories about their childhoods, their dreams, and their frustrations with their family dynamics. Ethan, much to Amara's surprise, offered a fresh perspective, acknowledging the pain his mother had inflicted on Amara. Serena, meanwhile, continued to struggle. Her career stagnated, her relationships frayed, and her bitterness grew. She found herself increasingly isolated, surrounded by whispers and judgmental glances. One day, Amara received a call from her Aunt Talia. "Amara," she said, her voice heavy with concern, "Serena has been hospitalized. She's been suffering from severe anxiety and depression." The news was a shock, but not entirely unexpected. Amara felt a surge of conflicting emotions, sadness, pity, and a lingering sense of justice. Despite the years of pain and betrayal, Amara, driven by a newfound sense of compassion and understanding, decided to visit Serena. She found her sister in a fragile state, pale and gaunt, her eyes hollow. Their conversation was difficult, fraught with years of unspoken resentments and deeply buried wounds. But as they talked, a tentative understanding began to emerge. Serena, weakened by her own self-destructive behavior, finally acknowledged the harm she had caused, the pain she had inflicted on Amara. Forgiveness was not easy. It was a long, arduous process, filled with moments of doubt and anger. But slowly, gradually, Amara began to let go of the bitterness that had consumed her for so long. She realized that forgiveness was not about condoning her family's past behavior, but about releasing herself from the chains of resentment and bitterness that had held her captive for so long. As she began to heal the wounds of the past, Amara found herself drawn to volunteer work, mentoring young women from underprivileged backgrounds. She shared her story, offering guidance and support, encouraging them to find their own voices and pursue their own dreams. Years passed. Amara and Callum continued to build a life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. They welcomed a child into their lives, a beautiful daughter who brought a new dimension of joy and meaning to their world. Amara, now a successful artist, found fulfillment in her work, her paintings reflecting the vibrant hues of her life, a testament to her resilience and her unwavering spirit. Amara's relationship with her parents remained distant, but she had found peace within herself. She had learned to cherish the love and support of her chosen family, the friends who had stood by her through thick and thin. She had learned to embrace her own strength, to define her own happiness, and to live a life that was truly her own. One sunny afternoon, while strolling through the park with her daughter, Amara received a phone call from her mother. Her mother, her voice frail and filled with regret, apologized for the pain she had caused. She admitted her own shortcomings, her own obsession with appearances, and her misguided attempts to live vicariously through Serena. Amara listened, surprised by the sincerity in her mother's voice. Years of resentment threatened to surface, but she chose to listen with an open heart. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness," her mother continued, her voice trembling. "But I wanted you to know that I've been thinking a lot about my past, about the choices I've made. I've hurt you deeply, and I'm truly sorry." Amara felt a wave of emotions, sadness, anger, and a flicker of something unexpected, pity. She realized that her mother, despite her flaws, was also a victim of her own insecurities and societal pressures. "Thank you, Mom," Amara replied, her voice calm. "It takes courage to admit your mistakes." The conversation was brief, but it marked a turning point. It was the first step towards a tentative reconciliation, a fragile bridge built on honesty and a shared desire for healing. In the years that followed, Amara continued to nurture her relationships with her chosen family. Callum, her unwavering anchor, supported her in all her endeavors. Their daughter, Lily, filled their lives with joy and laughter, reminding them of the beauty of new beginnings. Amara's career flourished. Her paintings, infused with newfound confidence and a deeper understanding of herself, garnered critical acclaim. She opened a small gallery, showcasing her work alongside that of other talented artists, providing a platform for emerging talent. She continued to maintain a cautious yet respectful relationship with her parents. Visits were infrequent, but they were marked by genuine attempts at connection, free from the old familiar patterns of criticism and comparison. Serena, after a period of intense therapy and introspection, began to rebuild her life. She found a new job, one that aligned with her true passions, and slowly began to rediscover her own sense of self-worth. She even reached out to Amara, offering a sincere apology for her past behavior. Amara, remembering the pain and hurt, initially hesitated. But seeing the genuine remorse in Serena's eyes, she decided to extend an olive branch. Their relationship was far from perfect, but it was a start, a tentative step towards healing the deep wounds of the past. As the years passed, Amara found herself reflecting on her journey. She realized that the pain she had endured had not defined her, it had shaped her. It had taught her the importance of self-love, the power of forgiveness, and the enduring strength of human connection. She had learned that family was not always defined by blood, but by the bonds of love, loyalty, and mutual respect. She had found her true family in Callum, in her daughter, in her chosen circle of friends, people who cherished her for who she was, flaws and all. Amara continued to mentor young women, sharing her story, encouraging them to break free from societal expectations and embrace their own unique paths. She became a beacon of hope, inspiring others to find their own voices, to pursue their dreams, and to build a life filled with joy and authenticity. Chapter 19. A Full Circle. Moment 1. Sunny afternoon, while visiting her parents, Amara stumbled upon an old photo album tucked away in a forgotten corner. It was filled with pictures from her childhood, capturing moments of joy and innocence. As she flipped through the pages, she noticed a photograph of herself as a young girl, her face beaming with pride as she held up a painting, her mother and Serena smiling beside her. It was a rare glimpse of genuine affection, a reminder that even in the midst of dysfunction, there had been moments of love and connection. A wave of unexpected emotion washed over her. She realized that forgiveness was not about erasing the past, but about acknowledging it, learning from it, and moving forward with compassion and understanding. Years later, Amara sat on her porch watching her daughter play in the garden. Callum was beside her, his arm around her shoulders. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. She thought of her mother, who had passed away peacefully a few years earlier, and of Serena, who had finally found happiness in her own life. She thought of her daughter, a vibrant, independent young woman ready to embrace the world. Amara felt a profound sense of peace. She had come a long way, overcoming the challenges of her past, building a life filled with love, joy, and meaning. She had learned to embrace her own strength, to forgive, and to find happiness on her own terms. And as she watched her daughter laugh, her heart overflowed with gratitude. She had found her own definition of family, a circle of love and support that extended far beyond the boundaries of blood. She had learned that true happiness came not from external validation, but from within, from the courage to embrace her own unique path, to live authentically, and to love fiercely.